Every minute you spend is a seed. Think about that for a second. Every moment you scroll, speak, sit, plan, or procrastinate, you're planting something. The question is, are you planting with intention or just tossing your time into the wind, hoping it lands somewhere useful? Success doesn't show up at random. It's not something you bump into one lucky day. It's built quietly, slowly, minute by minute, hour by hour. The people you admire, the ones who seem to move with power and clarity, they don't have more time than you. They've just learned how to treat it like the treasure it is. But let's be honest, how many of us are truly aware of where our time is going? We wake up late, scroll through half the morning, react to whatever comes at us, and then wonder why we feel behind, stuck, or frustrated. It's not because we're lazy, it's because we're distracted. We're pulled in every direction but the one that actually leads us forward. Time is either building your life or breaking it. It's either invested into your purpose or leaked into someone else's agenda. And if you don't stop and take control of it, you'll keep spending years just surviving instead of stepping into the success that's been waiting for you. So before we go any further, pause and ask yourself this. Where's your time really going? Not where you wish it was going, not what your planner says, but the truth, the real story. Because once you see that clearly, you can finally begin to change it. The truth about time, we all wake up with the same 24 hours, the same clock ticking, the same number of minutes moving through our hands like water, and yet some people seem to multiply those hours into progress, peace, and purpose, while others stay stuck, tired, and constantly catching up. It's not about how much time you have, it's about how well you spend it. That's the truth most people don't want to face because it takes away the excuses. It's easy to say, I just don't have time. But what we really mean is, I haven't decided what's worth my time. That's a hard truth, but it's a freeing one. Because once you realize you're not a prisoner of your schedule, you can finally become the builder of your success. Look at your day like a bank account. You get 1,440 minutes deposited into your life every single day, and whether you waste them, invest them, or ignore them, they're still being spent. Time is not waiting on your motivation. It's moving with or without your permission. The question isn't, are you spending time? The question is, what are you getting in return? If you sit and binge watch shows for 3 hours, that's a withdrawal. If you mindlessly scroll for another hour, that's another. And by the end of the day, you may have spent 6, 7, even 8 hours doing things that brought you nothing but distraction and a vague feeling of guilt. And that feeling, it's not just regret, it's your soul whispering, you're made for more than this. But here's the good news. Just because you've mismanaged time in the past doesn't mean you're disqualified from success. Not even close. In fact, sometimes all it takes is one powerful decision to turn it all around. A decision to stop treating time like it's unlimited and start handling it like it's sacred. The truth is, every great success story you've ever heard came from someone who learned to manage time before they managed money, fame, or opportunity. They prioritized the quiet work. They created boundaries. They said no to distractions, not because they were better, but because they were focused. And that same power is available to you. Time doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care what you've been through. It doesn't even care how talented you are. It just responds to your choices. That means you're in control. That means every day is a chance to shift the trajectory. That means today, not tomorrow, can be the start of something radically different. But first, you have to be honest. Look at your routines, your habits, your patterns. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't defend it. Just face it. Because that's where real change begins, not in wishing for more hours, but in mastering the ones you already have. And once you start doing that, life opens up, your mind clears, your spirit steadies, and suddenly the same 24 hours that used to slip through your fingers become the very thing that builds your future. Spiritual alignment. Time isn't just hours on a clock. It's not just a schedule or a to-do list. Time is a gift, a divine trust from God Himself. Every second you're alive is evidence that your purpose isn't finished yet. You're not just here to stay busy, you're here to be fruitful. You're here to carry out something eternal with the temporary time you've been given. Too many people measure their days by how much they've done, not whether they've moved closer to what matters. But productivity without purpose is just motion without meaning. You could be running all day and still be off course if you haven't aligned your time with your calling. God didn't create you for chaos, He created you for divine order. That's why wasting time doesn't just make you feel unproductive, it makes you feel disconnected. Because when your time isn't in sync with your assignment, your spirit knows it. You'll feel anxious, restless, tired, confused, and you won't even be able to explain why. It's not because you're weak, it's because your life is out of alignment. You weren't put on this earth to chase everything. You were called to fulfill something specific. And every day you're alive, heaven has an agenda for you. Conversations you're meant to have, people you're meant to bless, ideas you're meant to act on, healing you're meant to receive or release. But if your time is always consumed with what doesn't matter, you'll never have room for what does. That's why spiritual alignment is the key. It means you don't just wake up and react. You wake up and respond to what God is saying. You start your day in silence, in stillness, asking, Lord, what do you want with my time today? That one question can save you years of running in the wrong direction. Alignment doesn't mean perfection. It means intentionality. It means letting go of what's urgent and choosing what's important. It means not every call needs to be answered. Not every invitation needs a yes. Not every opportunity is for you. And the more spiritually aligned you are, the easier it becomes to say no, not from guilt, but from clarity. Remember, busyness is not always obedience. Just because you're active doesn't mean you're aligned. Some of the most obedient things you can do are quiet, private, hidden, time in prayer, time in reflection, time in preparation. The world may not see it, but heaven does. When your time is aligned with your purpose, peace follows. You don't just feel productive, you feel anchored. You stop competing with everyone else's timeline. You stop comparing your pace, and you begin to live from a place of assurance. I'm doing what I was created to do, and that's enough. That kind of living brings results the world can't explain. Doors open that hustle can't force. Ideas come that pressure can't create. Favor shows up in the details. Why? Because God breathes on what's aligned with His will. So, take this seriously. Your time is sacred. Your calling is real. And your days are not random. They are a sign. Don't sit waste another moment trying to fit into a system that wasn't set designed for your soul. Instead, rise each day and ask, is my time reflecting the purpose I was born for? Because when it is, you stop just surviving the day and start fulfilling destiny. Reveal the enemy. There's an enemy that doesn't show up with a weapon in hand, but it robs you just the same. It doesn't break in loudly. It creeps in quietly. It looks harmless. Sometimes it even feels comforting, but it's a thief of purpose, a destroyer of progress, and it's called wasted time. Time wasters aren't just bad habits, they are silent killers. They drain your strength, cloud your clarity, and delay your destiny. The enemy doesn't always come to stop you with tragedy. Sometimes all it takes is a little distraction, repeated daily. Let's call it what it is. The endless scrolling, the mindless entertainment, the hours spent overthinking instead of acting. We say we're unwinding or just taking a break, but slowly our dreams start to collect dust. Our energy weakens, our fire fades, and by the time we realize how much time we've lost, it's already gone. One of the most dangerous enemies is the fear of starting. It wears a mask that looks like planning, preparation, or waiting for the right moment. But really, it's just fear dressed up in logic. You'll tell yourself you're not ready, when the truth is, you're just scared to fail. But hear this, You can't finish what you never begin, and you'll never be perfect enough to avoid every mistake. So stop waiting, start moving. Another enemy, perfectionism. It convinces you that if it's not flawless, it's not worth doing. But perfection is a cage, not a standard. It keeps your best ideas stuck in your head instead of released into the world. Excellence grows with effort, but perfection will paralyze you. And time wasted on chasing flawlessness is time stolen from real growth. And don't overlook busyness. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're productive. You can spend your whole day being on the go and end it with nothing eternal to show for it. That's because not everything urgent is important, and not everything loud is meaningful. Time wasters love to wear the disguise of responsibility. Even toxic relationships can be time thieves. People who drain you, confuse you, or distract you from your purpose. If you're constantly fixing others, defending yourself, or proving your worth, your energy is being spent on survival, not success. And if the enemy can't destroy you, he'll distract you with people who do it for him. So, what's the solution? Clarity. You've got to name your enemies. What's really stealing your time? What's been keeping you almost ready for the last year? What are you giving hours to that isn't feeding your purpose? Because once you see it for what it is, you can take your power back. This isn't about shame. It's about awareness. You don't fight what you don't face. And if you want to protect your destiny, you have to get serious about defending your time. Every scroll, every delay, every mental loop of self-doubt, they add up. And what they cost you is far more than minutes. They cost you momentum. They cost you peace. They cost you progress. You were made for more than this. Your calling is too great to be postponed by petty distractions. Your vision is too valuable to be buried under busy work and fear. It's time to stop treating time like it's unlimited and start treating it like your future depends on it. Because it does. The 5 focus habits of the faithful. If time is a gift, then stewardship is the responsibility. It's not just about having good intentions. It's about forming habits that protect your purpose. You can't live on accident and expect intentional results. So how do you begin spending your time in a way that honors God and fuels your success? It starts with simple, sacred focus. First, begin every day in silence or prayer. Before the world starts speaking, give space for heaven to speak first. Most people wake up and grab their phones, scrolling through noise before they even hear their own thoughts. But when you begin your day in silence, you give your soul a chance to catch up with your spirit. And when you begin your day in prayer, you remind yourself that you don't run this day, God does. You're not just trying to be productive, you're trying to be aligned. Second, choose 3 things that actually move your purpose. Not 15 random tasks, not a long impressive to-do list, just 3 things that actually matter, things that move you forward, that build your vision, that strengthen your spirit, your work, or your relationships. If you finish those 3, you've succeeded, because it's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. And clarity always wins over chaos. Third, eliminate what steals your attention. Not everything that grabs you deserves you. Distraction is the slow death of discipline. So check your patterns. What apps keep you stuck? What conversations drain you? What habits are eating hours without feeding your growth? When you eliminate distractions, you don't just get more done, you become more present. And presence is where power lives. Fourth, set guardrails around your time. That means you build structure, not just hope for focus. You block out sacred spaces for what matters. Maybe it's 2 hours in the morning for deep work. Maybe it's a block in the evening for rest or family. Guard your schedule like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. If you don't put a fence around your time, the world will walk all over it. Guardrails protect your energy, your peace, and your purpose. Fifth, end your day in stillness, not noise. Don't let the last thing you hear be the world's voice. Let it be God's. Let it be your own. Turn down the volume. Reflect. Review the day with grace, not guilt. Ask yourself, what did I learn? Where did I grow? What can I do better tomorrow? Stillness at the end of the day is how you reset your soul. It's how you prepare for a new day with fresh strength and clear vision. These 5 habits aren't just productivity tips. They're alignment tools. They help you shift from living on autopilot to living with authority, from reacting to everything to responding with intention. And over time, these small disciplines create a life that doesn't just feel full, it feels faithful, because success isn't just about what you build, it's about what you honor. And when you start honoring your time, heaven starts multiplying your impact. You'll get more done with less stress. You'll start noticing open doors, divine timing, fresh ideas, not because you hustled harder, but because you aligned deeper. So build your day with purpose, guard it with boundaries, and close it with peace. That's how the faithful steward time. That's how the focused build a life. The harvest of wise time, there's something sacred that begins to happen when you start honoring your time. Things don't just change around you, they shift within you. Your thoughts get clearer, your spirit steadies. You stop rushing, stop chasing, stop wondering if you're behind. Suddenly, you know exactly where you're going and why. And without making a loud announcement, your life begins to rise. Success, the kind that lasts, doesn't grow in chaos. It grows in silence, in the moments no one sees. When you're focused while others are distracted, when you're building while others are scrolling, when you're listening while the world is shouting, those quiet hours you protect and use well, they start bearing fruit in ways that surprise even you. You begin to see the difference between movement and momentum. Movement is frantic, busy, scattered, exhausting. Momentum is steady, powerful, focused, unstoppable. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. And wise time gives you the vision to see that difference. The harvest of wise time shows up in clarity. Decisions become easier. Priorities become obvious. You no longer feel pulled in 10 directions because your spirit has direction. You stop entertaining what isn't yours and start focusing on what is. People notice the peace in your pace, but they won't understand it because they're still running without rest. It shows up in confidence. You stop apologizing for protecting your time. You don't feel guilty for saying no because you're saying yes to something higher. You become more intentional in conversations, more present with people, more powerful in your purpose. And that power, it comes from within, not noise, not hype, not comparison. It comes from your quiet choices. It shows up in favor. Doors open that you didn't even knock on, ideas flow that you didn't force, resources find you. The right people align with you. You're not chasing opportunities, you're walking in them. Why? Because favor follows order. And when you manage your time wisely, you give God something to bless. And here's the part no one talks about. Life starts to feel lighter. Not because it's easier, but because it's aligned. You wake up with less dread. You go to sleep with more peace. You feel connected, grounded, and rooted in something deeper than goals or outcomes. You begin to trust that you're not just spending time, you're sowing it. And that harvest is quiet at first, but it multiplies the same way seeds turn into forests. Your wise decisions compound. Days of focus become weeks of progress. Weeks become months of breakthrough. And suddenly your life starts looking like the vision God placed in your heart years ago. You won't need to prove yourself. You won't need to post your every move because those who walk in wisdom don't have to shout, their fruit speaks for them. While others are still caught in the trap of distraction, you'll be walking in the reality of discipline, and the gap will be clear. That's the reward of honoring your time. Not fame, not applause, but peace, clarity, favor, and momentum that cannot be stolen. Because it wasn't built in the crowd, It was built in the quiet. And when that harvest comes, you'll know it was worth every moment you chose to spend wisely. My family, what's one thing you know you must stop wasting time on? Not someday, today. What's the habit, the distraction, the mindset that's been stealing your hours and slowing down your purpose? Drop it in the comments. Name it, own it, speak it to release it. Sometimes your breakthrough doesn't come from doing more, it comes from letting go of what's been holding you back. We're all carrying something that eats away at our time, whether it's fear of failure, the trap of perfectionism, the pull of people pleasing, or just the habit of saying yes to everything that doesn't align. It's time to lay it down. No more giving away your best hours to things that don't build your future. No more silent agreements with chaos. You were made for more, and it starts with choosing differently. And if you're ready to stop drifting and start choosing, hit that subscribe button. This space isn't for the ones chasing noise. It's for the ones building quietly, brick by brick, the ones who don't need the spotlight, but who are committed to real growth, to clarity, to peace, to purpose. You don't need permission to take your time back. You just need the courage to start. So let this be that moment where something shifts, where you stop reacting to life and start leading it. You're not here by accident. You're here because deep down, you know it's time to move differently. So speak your shift in the comments and subscribe if you're ready to walk this journey one focused day at a time.